What is that
Oh
gonna
man,
do?
yeah, kicking the bear, like kicking a huge bear while it's already in full "I'm gonna eat your face off" mode. Yeah, that's not gonna work, bro.
Just
That's
gotta
not gonna
kick a
work.
bear while he down.
Kick a dead bear. He ain't dead. Ooh, no, man. He got like on that dude's head. No way. What's up, y'all? We live. We live. We live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wait, what am I talking about? On today's
Welcome.
episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast, we talk about weird fetishes. And we also talk about trying to kill somebody over a jar of mayo. I don't even understand it, but we're going to find out. All this, kicking a bear while he's down, and more on today's episode of the
Mm-hmm.
hashtag Blackout podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew pew.
Oh, man. Sorry, y'all. We started this out, man, watching some crazy stuff about a circus, right? A circus performer, a circus trainer with the bear who is pushing a wheelbarrow, which is also extremely hilarious. And then the performer tried to get him to stop, and then guess what? The bear decided to jump on top of him,
Mm-hmm.
which is not funny. But then one of the assistants showed up and like kicked the bear from the side, like what that's gonna do. What's that gonna do? Anyway, episode 208, hashtag Blackout Podcast. I'm Jared.
What up, people? I am Jay. Trying
We
to fix the
backing at it
camera.
again. We're backing at it again. Jay, man, how's it going, cousin? How's tricks? How's life?
Tricks. Been turning tricks this whole past 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Just playing, people. No trick turning here. No, things have been a-okay. Had a little COVID scare a couple weeks ago with the kid. One of the kids. Turns out he was negative. Thank goodness for those at home tests that I got in from the government. Well, even though I didn't totally believe it the first time, it came out negative. And I was like, this dude been having a fever for a little too long. Let me take him to get a PCR test. Those are a little bit more accurate. So that one came back negative. So we were all good. But in that time, I ended up taking my other son and his friend to see Spider-Man: Homecoming. First time not Homecoming. What was that other one? Far From Home.
Oh, yeah, it is home. The word home is in there somewhere.
Yeah. So Far From Home. Took my other son to see that. Him and his little friend. Mm-hmm. Watched that. So then I promised my other kid, hey, I'll just take you the following week. So today we're gonna go see that again.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah. That was part of my past 2 weeks. Got another phone yesterday. Got 2 phones, 2 iPhones.
You got 2 phones, one for the club and one for the low, right?
Yeah. The club, if you mean at home. Yeah. Club.
I don't know. I can't remember Kevin Gates' song.
Yeah. So got me a couple new phones today because I'm tired of my kids' friends texting my phone asking to, talk to my friend. Talk to my son. So I just figured let me get one for the home, and they could talk that way. He's not bringing it to school, even though it seems like all the kids at school got phones as low as first grade. First grade kids having a phone.
Is it a full-on phone line like you could make calls and stuff?
Yeah. That's what it's for, emergencies in case we got to leave them home. Because I was a latchkey kid growing up, so I was home alone quite a few times, and all I had was a phone to call my parents if anything goes wrong, call a neighbor. So that's
a good thing, man. And honestly, the crazy thing about it, like compared to when we were kids, like our parents would just leave us and hope that that we were there when they showed up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Unless we called them and told them we were like at a friend's house, which normally my parents were like, up until a certain age, my parents were like, don't open the door and leave at all unless it's an emergency, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I was bad at that.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Yeah. But the good thing is, nowadays with phones, they have trackers on them. So, if your kid's not there or, something like that, you can always, hopefully track them down.
If they bring the phone.
There you go. If they bring the phone.
Yeah.
But in these days, man, I'm going to tell you what you're going to come to find out, which you probably already know, is these kids, man, they get attached to those devices.
Oh,
That's the
bro,
way of the world right now. You know.
it is, and I'm trying to get them off them freaking devices. Like I wake up in the morning, my youngest, he's on the tablet
Yeah.
watching YouTube with the TV on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, watching two videos at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and then
While playing Xbox,
not Xbox but Switch.
Switch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
it's
funny,
like
man.
I'm trying to get them away from that. Completely cut out the video games and all electronics
Yeah.
because they spoiled nowadays, man. No kids go outside to play anymore. They don't ride bikes.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go up the block. Like I was telling my kids, at their age, I was all over the neighborhood, probably in other
Yeah.
neighborhoods I shouldn't have been in,
Yeah.
you know, and they just don't do that anymore. So
Man, that's the way it is, man.
yeah,
It's crazy. It's just these kids, man. That's all. It's a total different, you know, mindset from kids now
mm,
compared to what it is. I guess it depends on the part of the country that you're in, and really, what you
true.
have at the house. Because
That's
there
true.
there are some places, where kids do be in the street. And
Yeah,
then there's also some parents who brought their kids up like completely devoid of much technology. So I have a
yep.
friend, one of my really good friends from college, who was a very talented voice actress. Uh, I think her daughter and my oldest son are the same age within like a couple of months or something like that. So, I've always sort of followed, as this kid has grown up, obviously with my kid growing up around the same time. And she for the longest time like didn't introduce her daughter to like a cell phone or like an iPad, and she was like, posting pictures of videos of like, like this is my daughter drawing or this is my daughter creating something, that's not
Mm-hmm.
on a device, right?
Right.
Which is cool and refreshing. But then again, you don't want your kid to be lost like behind technologically. You know what I'm trying
Technologically.
to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't want them to be too far behind because all the rest of the kids that they know,
Mm-hmm.
have been doing that, which is fine if you don't, right? But you don't want them to not know about it at all. So
Oh yeah.
I know that at
I
some point in
got you.
time in the past few years, I don't know if she got her daughter. Well, at this point, I think her daughter would be like 13 or 14. So at this point, she probably got her, a device or whatever, like a phone. But you know, I think you can, and you can. I know you can relate because your kids didn't have phones. They didn't have phones till, like you just said, you just barely got one. So um, I
Yeah,
think at this
it's a
point,
barely.
yeah. But I think at this point, you can recognize. Oh wait, we got a comment. What's up there, Kayla? Kayla Stevenson in the
What up?
chat. Welcome,
Sweet.
welcome. Good morning. But yeah, you could relate because to a point because your kids will have a point in time during the day where they're like, you know what, I'm just ready to lay it down. I'm tired of all this stuff, and they'll put it away, or the time that you take it away. So
Right.
it is
Right.
what it
Right.
is. Well, that's cool. I'm glad y'all saw Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah. How was Spider-Man to you? We could do like a really
Uh,
quick how you liked it because I
quick
saw it
how I
too.
like it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the best one yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's the best one because they brought in the two other versions of Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and then how they kind of all told their little story of how they had some type of heartbreak, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Losing a particular family member, losing a loved one,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And then of course I thought the ending where, spoiler for whoever did not see this or who's hearing this right now, how Peter, the new Peter, Tom Holland, Peter Parker,
Mm-hmm.
had to kind of give up his uh make that sacrifice of MJ and best friend Ned knowing who he is. So I
Yeah.
thought that was a pretty touching thing. It was a pretty big sacrifice. It
Oh
makes you
yeah.
believe, makes you feel that all these superheroes all have a lonely life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the sad part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very sad part. And It's wild, man, because just imagine that your best friend and your best friend who's also your girlfriend type of thing. Like, wow, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like just basically having them forget who you are, and then of course, everybody else in the world, who knows that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After you just lost your aunt, who was basically your mother figure, and your
Mm-hmm.
confidant, and like all this other stuff, all kinds of things. It's just wild, man. So uh, it was just wild, but it was a really good movie. Kayla said my second brother's nickname is Spider Man. Oh, that's cool, Spidey. Oh, but you call him Spidey? Call him
Spider
Spidey
Man.
too, Spooder Man. I want to know if you call
Wow.
him Spidey. Yeah, but Spider Man was a good show, man. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it, and I took my daughter to see it because my son was under the weather that day, and you know, I think he had just we. Oh no, let's see, what day was that? I can't remember, but we had planned to go. I think it was a Monday. It was random, so we planned to go, as a family, and I think he was tired from something that he had the day before. Like he was completely exhausted. Then he had
Mm-hmm.
school, and I think that was also the day he started not feeling well. So I went with my daughter, and yeah, we loved it, and she really enjoyed it. She understood it, which was cool. She completely understood the show. So yeah, and she's just one of them that I didn't know that would get it, and she understood like a lot of different depth to the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool, man. Glad y'all got to see it. Glad y'all got to see it. Let's see here. So, man, my past week, a couple weeks have been sort of all over the place. We're supposed to be going to Jamaica for our anniversary, which was back in January. That had to be canceled because one of my kids had COVID. So, it is what it is. And then this week, uh, my son started complaining about not being able to taste. And that was like a day after his birthday or so, 2 days after his birthday. And then, he was, exhausted or whatever. And then my daughter started to get like a sore throat. And all four of us did like the nose test, and mine and my wife's were negative, but both of our kids were positive. So yeah, so I'm not sure that my daughter completely recovered from her COVID like last month, but she didn't have no symptoms. Like she had no symptoms, and we've all been around her, So it was like how, I don't know. It's just weird. Like we've all been right, like literally right next to her. So I don't know, man. It's wild. So we were rescheduling that trip to go this week coming up, but and we okay. So on top of all that, we did the spit test. Actually, we just did a test for my son initially with the nose test, and his was positive. So then we did the spit test the next day, the PCR, got the results back, the next day. And yeah, then we learned that my daughter and son both were positive. So we have our travel test set up, which is another rapid test tomorrow, but we're not going to go. We'll just take it just to see if anybody's doesn't have it or does have it now. So it's just crazy, man. So I don't even know when we're going to push it back to. Uh, we'll have to talk to the travel agent about that. But you know what, man? It's wild. This is the thing. It sucks. It's sad, but it's what we have to deal with right now. So, yeah, yeah,
It's a lot of
it's
spitting
crazy.
going
Yeah,
on.
and there is a whole lot of spitting going on. That is correct, Kayla. A whole lot of spitting going on. But man, that's the only way to find out. And what's wild is like the first time my daughter had, she tested positive. We did a nose test for her, and the last one we did for her was negative. So like, oh, we good. We didn't do another spit test at that point.
Yeah, I've never did the spit test.
Yeah,
So
it's fine. I mean, you just spit like a couple milliliters stuff. But the thing is like thing is it is a lot more accurate than the nose test. I've heard the nose test could be like 60% accurate, which is like
interesting.
really, yeah, it's like the accuracy level is pretty low. So
Wow.
yeah, but spitting is the new normal. Let me tell you, I've been spitting all my life because my dad used to like
Yeah.
just walk around and hawk loogies everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know it's
My grandfather
disgusting.
been spitting all the time, a
I
whole lot
swear.
too.
Oh man, yeah,
He's
yeah,
like king spit. Even
yeah,
had a
exactly.
little tin can,
hmm
dedicated for spit.
little old used Folgers coffee can or whatever coffee that had
Mm-hmm.
been run through at that point. So
Mm.
yeah, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, man.
Yummy.
We'll figure it out. But at this point, my son's starting to get his taste back. Starting to feel a little better. My daughter, is starting to, I guess she said she's starting to feel better too. So, it's just wild, man. It is what it is, though. This is the world we live in. So, as long as they're not, really sick,
Yeah, yeah.
like some
That's
people,
that's a
that's a
good
good thing.
thing.
And it's another good thing that we got them both vaccinated because I know the vaccine is not a cure, right?
It
But it
helps.
does help you. It either helps you prevent from getting it or you know keeps you from getting sick like real sick, as long as your body reacts the proper
Mm-hmm.
way to it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful for that. So it's whatever, but yeah, we're gonna get off this and we're gonna get on with the show. So this week, oh, let's see what you said, Kayla. Hold on. Tobacco spit. Yes, my great grandma chewed days worth and had coffee cans everywhere. Oh, Kayla, you probably heard a story that Jay and I probably told several times now on the show about, you know, let's see, we were visiting our grandparents' house, and really I was visiting Louisiana because Jay, lived like 15 minutes away or so from their
Mm-hmm.
house, and we were playing, and I taken off one of my socks and threw it, and I thought I was throwing it next to the couch where it was just like on the side, and I was gonna pick it up later. But in actuality, it landed in. I swear the can had to be almost full of spit, and it was a Folgers can
It's
sitting
like
right next to the couch.
it's like nothing but net.
Oh my gosh, it was like if you would have seen it, if I would have been able to like put a camera on that happening, it probably would have splashed like slow motion, splash of spit. But
Just
yeah,
brown stuff
I
in a
pulled
beautiful little wave.
so bad. I pulled out my sock and it was like, just ooey gooey, disgusting. I wanted to throw it away, but like back then, my mom was like, just throw that in the washing machine, So, that was the most disgusting thing. Most disgusting thing. So,
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just like in my mind, I'm like, why didn't you walk outside to spit? I know maybe it was at night. I know, it may have been cold, but I mean, they was in the country though. Like they ain't had nothing else out there. They just had a bunch of grass. Yes, it was disgusting. So all they had to do was pop open the door and spit. So
Hey man, but that's
it
that's
is.
his house. That's his coffee
That's
can. That's his
yeah.
comfortable rocking chair next to that heater, right in front of the TV.
Right in
I'm
front
not
of TV
getting up.
so he could
He
watch
not gonna
wrestling.
get up
That's
and
true,
go outside and
man.
spit next to the slop bucket that was by the back door.
I mean, he could have spit in the slot bucket for all I cared, man. That was bad. I should have thrown my sock in the slot bucket. Let them pigs eat it.
No.
Ugh.
Well, I'm sure they would have ate it, but
Yeah, they would have tore it up.
mm,
Especially if it
mm,
tastes like tobacco. I'm like, ooh, sweet, tangy. All right, here we go. So today's show, Jay came across a couple of weird fetishes, right?
yeah.
Let's get into this because it's
All
some
right,
weird
man.
stuff, man.
So I know I heard about this a couple weeks ago, and it just got to me.
Did you find the page?
I got the page. I got the page open. Should I? I guess
Yeah,
should I
share it. Let's share it.
Let's share this page.
Got to
Share
see this. This is
screen.
crazy.
Where am I?
And by the way, everyone listening, we are recording this live. Excuse me, we're recording this live on YouTube. So if you want to see the images that we're sharing in the in the in the podcast, or see the video what we're sharing in the podcast, you can just go
Mhm.
to our YouTube page #Blackout Podcast and look up our latest episode 208, and then you will find this information. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm a big fan of shoes, or at least I was a big fan of shoes. And you get that brand new shoe, you kind of want to smell it.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives me second thoughts about putting my nose in the shoe.
Oh,
So Foot Locker, famous store manager, Foot Locker manager accused of sharing video of him ejaculating into sneakers.
Like, what?
He's accused of
How?
masturbating into sneakers
Why?
after a
That's
video
the main question.
incident went viral.
That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, so Instagram account. Wow, they even uploaded the actual name. Maddie Christina uploaded a new now deleted post that showed a nude man in the back room of Foot Locker. The store employee, identified as 27-year-old Darian Kidd, is seen ejaculated onto the insoles of a pair of Nike not Nikes, but a pair of sneakers. And a caption accompanying the IG posted is alleged that the video was posted on Kidd's social media. From there, it was shared around social media. So
I don't even.
Yeah.
There's some things where you just don't understand things. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, what do you get from it?
Man, so I don't know what. Apparently, I guess in the video, which is now deleted, so we can't see the video. The guy who's being accused of this says, "As you can see, we're at Foot Locker here. There's nobody else here, only my shit, and I'm fully, completely, 100% sexy and naked." Kidd says in the video as he pans around the storeroom. Kidd has since wiped his social media. I hope you did. In the video, he confesses to ejaculating on shoes and bringing them into the storefront. As the IG caption points out, this is a considerable health risk to customers, especially during the pandemic. It is also just really gross. Yes, it is. Foot Locker is aware of the videos and told Blog TO that the situation is being handled. Foot Locker is committed to operating with the highest ethical standards, and this type of behavior is not tolerated. A spokesperson said for the company. A spokesperson for the company said, "We are aware of the incident and are taking appropriate steps to address the situation." So yeah,
I am lost.
Skeet in your Nikes. So this got me thinking, why shoes? And then I came across another article. Where is it? So there's a whole bunch of people that having issues in relations with shoes. Man has shoe fetish, stole 126 flip-flops to have sex with.
What?
So he's getting busy with flip-flops.
I wonder if they were Gucci flip-flops.
I don't know. These look like these are very, very cheap flip-flops. Ain't Gucci. Wow. These are not Gucci. These are bottom of the line.
Oh yeah, those are bottom of the barrel. Those are them Old Navy. Let's see what Kayla said. Yeah, LOL. Well, let's see what she said. Oh, put him under the sea. Yeah, man, that is disgusting. I don't even understand this. This is the thing. Like, I can understand that people like some weird, just like some little bit off the wall stuff. I think everybody has like their own, what you call it, like, I don't know, oddities and stuff that they like.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some stuff that's way out there, and this is one of them.
Yes, shoes.
So I don't
know.
Understand it.
I don't understand it. So yeah,
is this guy the manager? Is that what you said?
Not this one. This is a completely different person here.
Oh, it's a different. It's a different person.
So this is. I'm just bringing up different articles with people having relations with foot apparel, shoes, sandals. So this Tennessee man arrested for breaking in a store at night to have sex with dozens of sandals. Wow. Tennessee. So that's right in your neck of the woods, Memphis. Memphis Diva, Miss Kayla.
There you go, Kayla. You got some weird people. Weird people in Foot Locker.
May have heard of this. This is at Payless. So hey, he went a little bit cheaper on this one.
Oh.
So yeah, this guy, and then I see other stuff. So people are having relations with feet, with, like I said, feet apparel, foot apparel, shoes. Yes. You got some Chucks right here. Man charged over posting sex acts with coworker shoes to fetish site. So what are you doing with these shoes? Do you like?
I
I
don't
said,
even,
nah.
like I said, man, I don't even understand like what people get out of this. Yeah, folks are definitely doing way too much. I don't get it.
Mhm.
I don't get it, man. I don't know. I know I like some like weird stuff, but like I've never gone this far off the deep end. Let's see. Mine are my grapes have to have a crunch. Okay. I take the ends off of bread for bread.
That's
Then she
funny.
said, "Shut up" when she found out it was in her neck of the woods. That's what Kayla said. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't know. I don't know if that. I don't know. Is there's some things for me, I guess, that are pet peeves, right? But I don't know. I'm trying to think of if it's like a fetish or oddity or whatever that I
Hmm.
like. Let's see. Maybe they pinky toes got an extra nerve or something. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't even know. Um, I don't know. I can't. I can't. I'm trying to think.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty
I
funny.
mean,
Pretty
I have
disgusting.
like a I have like a very deep appreciation for knives, but you're not gonna see me out here doing like some freaky stuff with knives and swords. You know what I'm trying to say?
I would hope
Um,
not. You might cut something off.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
you know, it might. I mean, I'm not I'm not a knife gobbler, you know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Those people who like do that with the knife.
Sword swallowing.
Yeah, they just like get the sword and they're just like, ah. Nah, you
Yeah.
ain't gonna catch me doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
those people are weird. You know, they're crazy. I do love shoes, but I don't love shoes. If you know what I'm trying to say. Um,
So
my life say a man with the shoe fetish.
so this is a thing. So there's multiple people out there that have shoe fetishes.
Hmm.
But
I
how?
know it's a thing.
Yeah.
This is what's weird
I don't know.
because there are certain websites where you can legally sell used footwear and other clothes. You know what I'm trying to say? Um, and there's also and some of those are just websites that anybody can go to, and there's also obviously like some dark web, some seedy websites and things like that, where people could buy this stuff. I don't. This is the thing, man. This is the thing. When you're when you're, I don't know. I guess the mailmen never really know. They never really could see it, see what it is. But like, I don't know. I can't. The mindset of somebody, like just imagine that new toy that you got, that new artwork piece that you got,
Hmm.
the Snow White with the grenade instead of the apple. Like, the euphoria, if you will, of you saying, "Oh my gosh, it's finally here. I can't wait to open it, check it out, blah blah blah." Like that's what these people think. When I do a perfectly made brisket,
Hmm.
that's the feeling that I have. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You know what I'm trying to say? But I'm not
Hmm.
like sitting there like about to like pop off. It's crazy.
No,
I
no,
don't get
not
it,
at
man.
all.
I
Not at
don't
all.
understand it. Let's see here. Kayla said, I buy things in twos, especially if I like them. 2 shirts in different colors, 2 pairs of shoes, 2 lipsticks, etc. You know, I had a weird, like, I guess you would call it like an obsessive compulsive, disorder type of thing when I was a kid, which I didn't understand for a long time. And then I think I figured it out on my own. But I used to do things in fours all the time. I used to blink in fours. I used to tap stuff in fours. I used to like, pull the doorknob like 4 times before I actually opened the door, like turn the light off 4 times. Like I would do that in fours all the time. And I was like, man, this is so weird. Why am I doing this? And then I finally realized that, I was doing like, I was like some kind of semi OCD type of thing. So I started doing it in like twos, like cutting it in half. And eventually I stopped doing that. Every now and then I'll do something like 4 times again, because that'll come in my head. And I don't know why, but in my mind, I was always thinking I needed to, like, if I did something, if I like tap something with 2 times with my left hand, I had to tap it with 2 times with my right hand so I could even it out. It was the
Hmm.
weirdest thing. But,
That's funny.
I wouldn't call that a fetish. I would just call that an OCD, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's some people with, man, I'm going to tell you what, man. after we had that story a couple weeks ago with the lady who, farts in jars and sells it for like $500 a jar. There are some people with some really crazy, like people buy toenail clipping. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine being excited to get a package full of toenail clippings.
Oh man.
I think I just threw up, like inside my belly. It just threw up inside of itself.
That's
I
funny.
can't even understand it. I can't understand it.
That's funny. Dang.
I
wish I could sell my toenail clippings. Cause mine are something to marvel at, especially my big toe.
I got a side hustle for you. Get yourself an OnlyFans account. First step, get yourself an OnlyFans account. Second step, do live videos when you clip your toenails. But just clip one toe a day. Because if you do that, as you do that, by the 11th day after you finished all 10 toenails, the first toe
will start to grow back.
Nails will have started to grow back, so you can clip them again. Or you could do it toes to fingers, right? So really, they'll really have started to grow after 20 days.
Yeah.
So
what's
then
that?
While you do that, post that, hey man, I'm clipping my toenail, and then highest, the highest subscriber or whatever, who gives me the most gifts or whatever they call them, we'll get this package of my toenails in the mail.
Yeah. Or that thing that's ASMR. I just had to look it up. You can do some videos like that. Just clip and just clip.
Yeah, here we
clip,
go.
Clip.
Just like this, like super close on the microphone.
Yep.
And what I'm doing right now is I'm looking down at my coffee cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you could get it real close.
And then it's like, do you hear it? Do you hear the liquid jiggling in my cup?
There you go. Bam. That's it.
Yeah. That was delicious.
You got it.
Man, that's some crazy stuff too. I've seen I've seen a couple of those videos, man. Those people there's some wild stuff. There's some wild stuff in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really off the wall things in these streets. Let's see. Kayla, Memphis Diva says the prison ladies will love the toenails. They will make earrings and necklaces.
Oh,
no,
damn. No. It's kind of like, what was that macaroni string necklace that you made as a kid?
A macaroni string necklace?
Just
man.
A line of toenail clippings all around your neck.
No way. Imagine. Just, you know what? Immediately, you got macaroni string necklace. What I got immediately was like those little seashell necklaces, or like the shark's teeth necklaces. Just imagine a bunch of toenails on necklaces sitting around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looking like Black Panther.
Yes, like Black Panther. Oh man, no way. That's disgusting. But you know what though? They would definitely do it. And hey, if a prison lady want to send Jay and I some money for a pack of our toenails,
be happy.
DM us. We'll get you. We'll get you taken care of. As long as that money go through.
I will send you a jar. Just don't use all your what do they call it? Their funds in jail.
Yeah,
the commissary. What was that stuff called?
Stipend. Is it commissary stipend that was called? I can't remember.
Whatever it is, don't use it all, because I need you to. I would like you to have some money in your little account in jail to buy yourself some provisions that you need, some deodorant, some maxi pads, or whatever you need.
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. So your toenails will shut prison down. I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, I got some mangy ones. So yeah, that would be disgusting and hilarious, but really disgusting. But hey, like I said, if anybody want to pay us for our toenails,
see us in the news. Yeah, you probably see us in one of those news stories. Podcasters sell toenails to ladies' prison system.
They'll be trading boxes of cigarettes for toenails. Imagine. Hey. I trade this box of 20-day-old toenails for a couple
for a couple Newports. Give me a couple Newports for the big toenail clippers.
Are those menthols? Oh, I'll give you 2 boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, we got you. You know you meant trading. Yeah, that's so silly, man. And I wonder if there's people. Okay, because horses, cows, pigs all have hooves, and they all have to be like trimmed and maintained.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder,
which are very, very satisfying videos for some odd reason.
Yeah, which
Watching
is so
them
crazy.
trim those nasty, but
I wonder if there's people who have fetishes of having those, enjoying those. Sprinkle some hooks rub. Hey, if anybody has that fetish out there and you want to buy some hook shrubs to do that, go ahead. Go for it. www.hookshrub.com. Get yourself a sweatshirt and also get yourself some flavor for them toenails.
Speaking of putting some spice on, as a kid, did you used to eat your fingernails, like bite them and then kind of break them down? And
Oh yeah. As a kid, yeah, man. It was the weirdest thing.
So what if they put some flavor on there? It'd be like gel snacks.
Oh. No way, man. No way. I can't do it. The only time I think that I could do something like that is if I was like stranded somewhere and I had to I didn't have food, and I had water, or whatever, or didn't have water, didn't have food, and I needed to have some kind of sustenance. I'd eat a fingernail or 2 or something like that. That's the only way that I would do it. Other than that, I can't. I don't even do it anymore. I'll buy them if they're jagged and spit it out. But no, not. That was back in the day. But you was a real one if you ate your fingernails and your toenails back then when you were a little kid.
Yeah,
if you could put your foot up to your face.
I plead the fifth on that one.
I did that when I was a kid. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Man, now that was a weird story. So let's see. So you had that, and then you also said something about Build-A-Bear.
All right. So speaking of fetishes, and Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Next week. So Build-A-Bear is launching an After Dark collection for adults. So So Build-A-Bear has released a new line of After Dark teddy bears just in time for Valentine's Day. So earlier this week, Build-A-Bear, a toy company that caters to children, as we all know, announced their After Dark concept for adults. The new series of furry friends features many Valentine-themed bears. But contrary to what you may think, Build-A-Bear is keeping the bears PG for some adult humor.
Yeah.
Well,
see, when they say Build-A-Bear for adults, we just talked about weird fetishes. We just talked about that. We already know. What's about to go down.
Bro, I already had $1 million idea.
Sex bear. That's what's about to happen.
That's what I was about to say. You could put, for women, you could put the a little vibrator in it.
Oh, good luck.
The one that jiggles and stuff when you hold it tight. And then for the men, you could do the little pocket. For the men. Because we just saw somebody having sex with flip-flops. So, teddy bear is not too far off.
I'm going to tell you what, man. I would not be surprised if something like that already exists. So we could just add our product to the market. Because you know what? There's people who will buy it.
The hashtag Blackout teddy bear. Hashtag Blackout love bear. Love box bear.
We got to have leather on and zippers all over the place. That's got to happen.
Ball gag.
Oh. Oh my gosh!
And they'll look like that black bear in the video that you showed me before this.
Oh man, that black bear that jumped on top. Yeah, that's wild, man. Funny. It's sad that they have that Build-A-Bear, has to denote that it's going to be PG. You know what I'm trying to say? But I mean, hey, Build-A-Bear is for everybody already.
Mhm.
So, Build-A-Bear is already for everybody. So yeah, I'm not surprised stuff already have. Why can't they have a penis for grown-ups? Build a penis? They do. They do. It's called a vibrator. That's already out there, right? And all those other toys, whatnot.
That is, yeah, that would be
But
another idea.
okay, yeah, that would be a great idea though if you
Yeah,
had your
yeah,
own
yeah. You
store.
could go into a shop and customize your own whatever to your liking.
They put it inside of that big machine with all the fuzz around it, and it flows around.
Come out
All the
looking like
fluff around
a
it.
with
It's like,
like a cotton candy machine.
yes. Oh man, just think about this. That's because you had to build a bear before, right? Or you ever seen it done, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I went to the shop. Yeah,
yeah. They put in there like imagine.
the hairs will talk to. Where would it talk from?
That's what I was gonna say. Imagine them having that little voice thing. And like we have like 15.
It's like
We have
we
like
got.
15 preset words.
It'll be
Phrases.
like if you want a celebrity voice, you get like the Idris Elba voice. You get like the Morris Chestnut voice.
Oh man.
The whatever person you into. Maybe it could even sing. It'd be like Luther Vandross singing from the
Oh
tip.
man. And then, but then on top of that, you could also do a customized voice, and you could say something like if you want to give it as a gift. You know what I'm trying to say?
True.
And then like you could actually decide where you want to place it within the Build a Penis. Where you want that to go, and they put it in there. It's funny because like at the Build-A-Bear place, they like put it in a specific spot where you want it, and then when you press it, and you squeeze that whatever appendage, that's when the voice comes out. So then they push that down in there, and they're like, all right, we're gonna put it in our magic machine. And they toss it inside the magic machine, and then like all this white stuff like starts to flow around it, and then they pull it out, and they put it in, they pull it out, and then it's like stuffed and ready to go to whatever. And they're like, do you want it like extra stuffed, like really firm, or do you want it just like sort of flimsy? You want it. Oh man. They just said in different colors and different veins. Oh wow. And
maybe they could spell your name.
Almost be circumcised. Amen. And then they can spell your name. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that word is, but she put that in there. Yes. Build your own penis, lady. Yes, ladies. I guess this is something that you should be clamoring for. This is something that you should want. Kayla hatched the idea. We could be the spokespeople for it. I don't know, man. It'd just be wild, man. But yeah, like you said, it could spell your name off the side. There's so many different possibilities. You could
the BAP workshop.
Build a boob.
Build a boobs.
Build a boob. You know what I'm trying to say? Build a butt. There's already build a butts out there and build a boobs. They just boob implants. Well, there's really butt implants. Those fake butts that people put.
Yeah, true.
Build a butt though, but just imagine. But what am I going to say? There are websites where you can go and buy that stuff. Currently.
Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure.
And it's weird. That's all I can say. It's just some weird stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird stuff in these streets. Like you could buy a fake chest. Like if you wanted, for some reason, if you wanted like the physique of a strong, man chest, like from neck to waist, you can go out and find it in places.
I think we covered that some time ago.
In different color tones too, like it's all over the map.
Yeah.
And
no, I was gonna say I even remember going in the Burlington Coat Factory, and they're like different butt pad pull up. I don't know what they call shorts or leggings or something for women to increase their butt voluptuosity. Is that a word? Probably not. But yeah, increase the size of their butt, make it looks a little plump,
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah,
little rounder. Yeah.
yeah. It's just there's things out there. There's the thing. This is a thing. This is a real thing in real life. It really does happen. And now, you know what's even weirder is now they have, after going to CES a couple of times, I've come to see, we've already talked about this. I've come to see like robots and things like that. They have robots now that really, I mean, like if you saw this robot with, here, I'm gonna send you a link. Let me see, is this it? Yeah. If you saw a link of this robot, or, if you saw this robot, walking down the street, like their mannerisms are sitting somewhere, their mannerisms are very, very, what do you call it? Very human-like. So let me see. I'm gonna do this. What's this called? Okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat. TikTok.com/promobot. If you have TikTok, go to promobot.robots. And yeah, you'll see some
Wow,
crazy stuff.
that's
Let's
crazy.
see here. Let me see promobot. So I guess I misspelled this a little bit. My bad. Let's see here. Copy. There we go.
That's crazy.
All right, come on. Yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna put this in our stream. Gonna share screen and share window. Here we go. So this guy right here, this has 1.3 million followers. At this robot. So look at this robot in the stream. Let's see if it rolls. Here we go. A megabyte. If you could see his face, man, his face, like his eyeballs are actually looking.
Tell me a joke.
Side to side. Here we go. Tell me a joke.
What is it called when a robot eats a sandwich in one chomp? A megabyte.
What's it called when a robot eats a sandwich in one chomp? A megabyte. Yeah, man, that's some weird stuff, man.
Dude,
some really.
And this was crazy because this, like, I remember seeing other AI, like robot and cyborg type things, like maybe a year ago, and it wasn't as advanced as this.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine, like 5 years from now, how advanced this particular robotics and stuff is going to be in lifelike movements and everything.
Yeah.
So I could say, by the time we get to that, let's just say 50, 55 years old, they'll probably be walking along the street and we won't even know it.
They will be, man. They will be. That's going to be so crazy. It'll be so crazy. The wild thing is this robot that we're looking at, he has like that Iron Man, like, I can't remember what they call it, but that Iron Man
arc reactor.
Power core reactor, yeah, in their chest. This is wild. Like, this is the type of thing that you will see at those CES, like at that Consumer Electronics Showcase conference.
Yeah.
You'll see some stuff that just literally blows your mind. Like when I saw some of these robots a couple years ago, the last time I went, none of them had a face like this. They were all like you could tell it was a robot. Like it looked like a grown-up toy. But yeah, this is some scary stuff. So wow. Yeah, man. Hey, this is in these streets right now. I can't remember why I got onto this topic.
Yeah, maybe fetishes. Yeah,
but yeah, it's out there, man. That's some weird stuff.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Wow. So let's see here. So okay, well, if y'all have any weird fetishes, or if you know people with weird fetishes, or if you have a weird fetish you want us to talk about, hit us up. Let us know. There's something else that I really don't understand.
Yeah.
You told me you saw a story where somebody was killing for Mayo. Killed his friend for some Mayo?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, or do you like? Are you a big fan of condiments?
Bruh, yes.
I mean, what's your That's your
mayonnaise.
favorite, absolute favorite
My
barbecue
favorite
sauce?
condiment. Oh shoot, my favorite condiment is hot sauce.
Hot sauce. I don't know if I have a favorite. I love barbecue sauce, different types of barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough for me to it's tough to tell, but I don't know if I love any condiment as much as this man hated mayonnaise.
Mhm.
Wait, hate or let me ask that question. Do you hate a condiment
Oh man, let me see. What do I not like?
to kill somebody over?
I don't hate nothing. I don't hate nothing so bad to kill somebody over it.
Oh man.
I'm not a
Well,
fan of. I mean, there's a couple dressings that I don't like, salad dressings, but
hmm
I mean, we had to go hard, to like it had to be like real, like some real disdain to kill somebody over
yeah. Anyway, this man really did dislike the mayonnaise. So
it. Yeah,
Iowa man receives a life sentence after killing his friend over some mayo.
life.
Yeah, so he was found guilty of running over his friend with his car following a fight over the condiment mayonnaise. Christopher Erlbacher, sounds like a murderer, 29 of
Mhm.
Woodbine, was convicted of first degree murder for killing his 30-year-old friend Caleb Solberg. On Monday, he was sentenced to a mandatory life sentence, which came 2 months after his conviction. The two men were friends and were eating and drinking at a bar December 17th, 2020. The confrontation began when Erlbacher decided to put mayonnaise on Solberg's food. Apparently, this upset Solberg, who punched Erlbacher. The two began fist fighting. Erlbacher made threats to hurt the victim and others, and he acted on those threats when he spotted Solberg later that evening. He saw him outside a nearby cafe and ran him down with his truck. Erlbacher first Erlbacher's first blow to Solberg did not kill him. He can be heard. It's not funny. He can be heard screaming for his brother Craig Pryor. Rather than just leave, Erlbacher went down the street, turned around, came back to strike Solberg a second. This is not funny, but why am I laughing? Solberg a second time to be sure he had completed the job. Erlbacher drove his truck up and over Solberg one last time. So Erlbacher claimed he was intoxicated at the time of the crime and had no intention of killing his friend. He unsuccessfully attempted to reduce his charge to second-degree murder, which would have lessened his sentence to 50 years in prison. Erlbacher, even if Erlbacher is under the influence of alcohol, he's responsible for his acts if he had sufficient mental capacity to form the specific intent necessary.
Yeah,
Intoxication is a defense only when it causes a mental disability which makes a person incapable of forming specific intent. So yeah, all started over some mayo. Mhm.
I don't. So the guy put it on his sandwich. Was it a joke?
I don't know. Apparently, it was a joke. Maybe
I mean, if
he
it's
knew
your
his friend
friend,
didn't like it.
yeah, if it's your friend, like that's one thing. It's like I'm joking with you type of thing. But like most people get over that,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
like, like I don't know. That's
That's
wild,
funny.
man. To kill my friend over some mayonnaise, like, come on, man. There's more to life than that.
Yeah,
Like,
um,
it's not
it's not that
worth it.
serious. It's not that serious.
What did this is what I'm trying to figure out. What did mayonnaise do to this person in his life to make him a murderer? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what made him hate mayonnaise so much?
Hmm.
You know?
Well, I'm trying to create a story in my brain. Maybe he was allergic to something in the mayonnaise that could be deathly.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, maybe that's it. But then you would think if that was it, then you would think that they would have talked about it,
yeah. In this
as a part
report,
of that. Yeah.
I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's woo, that's wild. You know, there's some things that I don't like, but I'm not gonna kill nobody over it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like it'd have to be like some crazy,
Like squeezing the juice out of brisket.
yeah, like that. I don't know.
You might be on the
That's on the
edge.
line. That's on like somebody come to my house and they like You know,
Squeeze the juice out of your brisket.
I just cut the brisket in half, and I was about to make slices. Like, ooh, look at this! And squeeze it, and it's like skeeted out. And yeah, I might be mad over that. I might punch him or like cut the hand real fast or something like that. But nah, that would be silly. But I don't know, man. I think that it would take something really, you know, like, you know, massive for me to want to harm someone because of that. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
crazy world we live
These
in.
people in these streets, man, y'all got to make sure that y'all are I don't know, minding your P's and Q's, especially around people that, you know, especially around people who especially around people who are Mayo lovers, if you will. So especially around people who are Mayo lovers or Mayo haters. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love Mayo.
You like it?
Oh yeah, man. It used to be so broke when I had bologna. I just make myself a Mayo sandwich.
Yeah. Those are the
Fantastic.
days. Those are the days.
It's beautiful.
What's your favorite condiment? What's your favorite condiment?
It's tough to say, man. Like I could tell you, back living in Louisiana, there was this barbecue sauce called Jack Miller's. Jack Miller's? It's Jack Miller's. I'm gonna have to look that up. Jack Miller's barbecue sauce that they used to put on. You go to like a little barbecue stand or something. That would be the barbecue sauce that they would put on it, and it's not sold everywhere. Every once in a while, I'll go back home and I'll find some Jack Miller's barbecue sauce, and I'll grab some and bring it back home. Yeah, it even got a website. Okay, so yeah, it was Jack Miller's barbecue. That was my favorite growing up. Hadn't had it in a while, but yeah, it's if I had to choose a favorite, it would be some type of barbecue sauce, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Wow. I think what my favorite condiment is. Wow. So many. Honestly, there's so many. I do love mayonnaise. I love hot sauce. I love. I'm obviously big fan of barbecue sauce. You know, I like vinegary barbecue sauces. So
yeah, that's what this one is. This one's vinegary.
Let's see what Kayla said. So I said, we put in the chat, would you kill somebody over condiment? She said no, but one time my mom was living with me, and I have rules about Miracle Whip mayonnaise. Doesn't go and use it. Oh, don't go and use it all up. And she did when I came home and wanted a turkey. I'm the one. Let's see. I'm the one of the turkey and pepper jack cheese. And when I came home, I wanted to make my sandwich, and she left me Miracle Whip jar there with nothing in it. I was mad. Yeah, I can see that, man. That Miracle Whip. So Miracle Whip versus mayonnaise. I didn't know when I was a kid that they were.
I just thought it was all the same thing.
It was funny because my dad would call it Miracle Whip, but he also called it salad dressing, and I'm like, salad dressing is ranch and Thousand Island. What you talking about? This mayonnaise, I found out that at some point in time the mayonnaise tastes a little different. You know, it's basically the same. It looked the same, but it's a little different. I mean, I want a turkey sandwich with pepper jack cheese, wheat bread, and Miracle Whip. Oh yeah. And then Kayla said, I've just stayed in my room and wouldn't come out. So she was mad. See, that's okay. You know, go and isolate yourself a little bit, calm down, you know, then realize that you can go to the store and buy more, you know.
That's true.
Even though I know when you've been thinking about something all day long, finally get home about to make it and somebody took it and ate it.
Gone.
That's not fun. Or like the days when you know, when you go to work at the office and you put some food in the fridge and somehow somebody would come and like nab some of it. Like that was always weird to me, man. I'd be like, man, don't be touching my food. What you doing? You know, I'd be ready to fight somebody.
Yep.
Wow. I'd be totally ready to fight somebody. All right, let's see here. What we got next? So yeah, please don't fight your people over mayonnaise. So we're gonna do some voicemails real quick, and I'm glad Kayla is listening to the show right now because she will be able to get our live reactions to any voicemails that she left us. So did she leave us a voicemail this week? Let's check. And since she did leave us a few voicemails, Jay, why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they can find us?
All right, people. 3853 BLAKPC or 385-325-2572 is where you call, leave us a voicemail. And yeah. And if you don't want to leave a voicemail, you could go to Twitter or Instagram and leave us a little DM with whatever you want. That is hashtag Blackout Pod. And if you don't want to do that, hit us up with an email, hashtag blackoutpod@gmail.com. Bam.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Do it to it. All right, here we go. First voice message in 3, 2, 1.
One time, ooh, we Lord have mercy. Y'all episode talk about some damn butt lips. I ain't had a chance to listen to it, but I'm reading on Instagram. But look, this Mr. D. I ain't gonna say no name, but I know some people that use a PPP to get butt lips. And let me tell you, one girl said, I can't turn out of my clothes because nothing fit back there. And I'm like, I can see why. And so I asked her, I said, well, how does it, I said, do you mind if I touch it? And so I took my pointing finger and I touched the boot. I just touched it, like gently touched it. And I said, she's like, here's the bad part. I don't even know how to twerk. So I'm like, why the hell would you get a butt lift if you, and then I just realized my butt on my back. I haven't had that booty, so I don't need a butt lift. Okay, because it's already out there. All right. So my plane leaves in 2 hours. And I just had to call and tell y'all that.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a minute since I've flown. I got to take 3 flights. But hey, when you're on the budget, I didn't book the flight. My friend girls booked it, and yeah. I got all my good stuff in my bag. You know, I got my medication, my insulin, and all that good stuff. And it's going to be a fascinating trip. I'm going to take my planner and my tablet. Yeah. I'll probably write a best-selling novel on this trip.
Yes.
I'm going to listen to you guys when I get to when I get in my layover, which is in Atlanta or Salt Lake City. I don't know. But I'll talk to y'all later.
Wow. Girl got a butt lift. Somebody got a butt lift. And she didn't even know how to twerk, so why she getting a butt lift for? What's that for?
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. No.
That's wild. I don't know. I don't get it, man. There's some things I just don't get in this world. So here we go. Next up.
Ooh, child, I'm back. Oh, walk in the club with your lollipop okay. It looks leaky. I'm freaky. You said you was on vacation, but you know it's a lie. You went and got your boots tried. All these grandma with these big old face butts. See, don't do the butt. Don't let them cut you in it. You gonna look like a pig that's been all up in it, doing the butt. Hey, don't let nobody cut you. You gonna be looking freaky, and then it's gonna be leaking. No, don't go to Miami and let them put some lemon in it. No, but don't cut. Don't let nobody cut your butt. Be like me. There's nothing wrong with having a high-back booty, you guys. There's nothing wrong with having a flat booty, guys. There's nothing wrong. Do some squats. Yeah, and save that money. This has been a public service announcement from Kayla, Memphis Diva. 99.
Yeah.
There's a PSA.
PSA.
Kayla and Lil Dicky, who said save
Ain't
that money.
nothing wrong with your butt. Absolutely nothing.
But there's also nothing wrong with doing the butt all night long.
That's
Man,
true.
that song used to be so funny to me, man, when I was a kid. That was hilarious.
Doing the butt.
And Memphis Diva gave us a couple of verses, so that was pretty great.
That was good. That was
I
pretty
like
good.
it. All right, next up, later on that day, let's see. Actually, 2 minutes later.
What's up, y'all? If I haven't laughed at the latest episode you guys had about Buddy, well, child, I just got back from Montana today, and I'm sick.
Uh-oh.
The snow was beautiful, the deer, the mountains. It was an interesting little city I was in. Whitefish, Montana. Kalispell, Montana, whatever. But I'm sick. My right ear is stopped up. I guess the sinus has traveled to my ear. And yeah, I can't hear out that ear right now, and I'm coughing up cold. But I had a good time snowmobiling, getting the experience. There were no black people. That was real funny. It's like they were shocked to see us, and it was quite interesting, but they were friendly. And there are no urban eat out places like Church's Chicken, no Pizza Hut, no Chick-fil-A. They had like their own little restaurant. But yeah, it was nice. I did not like my flight. The seat just would not hold my hips. Yeah, I was on Delta, but I enjoyed looking at the movies. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, glad y'all had a good time in Montana. Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better now, Kayla. That was on January 28th. So that was a little over a week ago. So hopefully, yeah, she's feeling better now. But yeah, man, when you go to Montana, there's normally not much color at all. Unless, let's see, we went to where did we go? We went to Yellowstone, which is up like a Montana/Wyoming, like it basically cuts across both borders. But we stayed in Montana, and yeah, it was. I mean, I was the only black person, and my kids were like the next closest black people.
That's funny.
And I mean, we did see some people, some other colors. I think I did see like one or two black people like during the whole trip while we were there, but basically it wasn't much of that. But yeah, I don't even know where Whitefish, Montana is, but I think that's much further away, or that's much deeper into Montana than anything. I think if anything, you would see like some Native Americans up there. But that's in certain spots because they put them in a reservation.
Sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes. So, but yeah, glad you had a good time. I wonder if riding a snowmobile is anything like riding a motorcycle, and I'm sure Kayla will let us know. But I wonder if they have, if there's a lot of similarities or not. It would seem so. Let's see here. Kayla said the mountains were beautiful and she enjoyed the snow. Won't be alone. That was cool. So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty up there. The mountains are big, tall, lots of stuff. So, yeah, it's nice. So glad you had a good time. Snowmobiling was cool. I got you. Yeah, I'm glad y'all had a good time. Up there in that random place to go snowmobiling. That was cool. But yeah, that's almost what it'd be like in Utah. There's some more. Is there a little ring in the ear? Do you hear that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just hearing stuff on my side. But there's not a lot of diversity up here, but there's a lot more than Montana. I'll tell you that much. A lot more color down here. So yeah, here we go. Next up, last voicemail. She just left this a couple days ago. 3, 2, 1.
Y'all, it is the revenge of the pine trees in Memphis. Y'all, So a little ice rain came and uprooted all the pine trees. I got 2 trees that fell on my neighbor's house, trees in the middle of the road. Trees just uprooted. Just, straight pandemonium. Oh, Lord, I'm going to the moon. Wait, I probably can't breathe on the moon on my own. But I'm going somewhere. Well, Lord, we're not prepared for the ice, okay? We're prepared for nothing now. The damn trees then came in on my mama. Yeah, then went in the living room and her neighbors little dorm, senior citizens little dorm thing, and my brother says a 20-foot pine tree in her place. Now the firemen are saying that they need to evacuate because the rest of the trees are going to come down. So we got mama safe, and needless to say, I didn't feel like sitting around the house anymore. I'm tired. Since I've been ripping and running all day, I'm going to go do this for a few hours and go save somebody, and now I just came up on an accident.
Oh, boy.
Lord Jesus, pray before I sit back. In Jesus' name, wine coolers and condoms. Damn, that's a bad accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calls. Oh, Lord.
Oh, and that was it. At the end of the message there, it sounded like she said wine coolers and condoms. So maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. It's possible. Anything is possible.
That's what that sounded like. But yeah, hopefully you're safe. I guess you are safe, Caleb, because you said that you're obviously listening to this and commenting here, and you said you're going to leave a voicemail on your snowmobiling adventure. So I can't wait to hear that. But yeah, man, it's wild. I know that I have several customers that I talk to who are dealing with ice and no power and stuff like that throughout the week. And I know that you had an experience with your house where, let's see, you had tree branches and stuff fall on your house, but then also, remember that time where you had the tree like stuck in the power line and we had to like try to get it off? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
That was probably not the smartest thing.
Yeah, no. That's not smart at all. But we did it. We tried.
Story, though.
It's a great story. It's a great story. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't get electrocuted.
As Urshi was talking about ice, we just got over our little ice snowstorm past couple of days. So lots of snow. Well, I ain't gonna say lots of snow. More than what I wanted. More than what I wanted.
Is it like 60 degrees in Texas and perfect now or something?
Today? Yeah. It's gonna be like a high of 60. Let's see. What is today? High today of 60. By Friday of next week, we're gonna have a high of 77. So yay, Texas. We had lows. We had a high of like 20-some degrees a couple of days ago. Kids were out of school for 2 days because of icy weather conditions. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's crazy because there, you'll get snow and ice like in the morning, and a lot of times by the afternoon it's pretty much melted. But the whole city shuts down, which I get, man. People can't drive and that stuff out there. They already can't drive as it is, so
but they still try
adding that extra, adding the boss level of adding ice and snow. It makes it bad.
They still try to drive it though.
Yeah.
Even though the weather, what do you call it? The traffic people say don't try to get on the roads unless you necessarily have to. I can understand, essential workers trying to get to work. I'm still confused about how these news people get to work. They have to leave early in the morning, and still, they manage to make it there.
Yeah, they have to leave early to do that. They have to drive super slow. Some of them stay the night, like they'll stay there, like in their office or like in like a, like in a specific green room or whatever, like the night before. So they don't have to leave. And a lot of time news people have maybe 3 or 4 changes of clothes at the station, in the dressing room because, just for that reason. If it's some kind of event like that, or if it's like an ongoing situation where they're going to be, live a lot, or they're, and maybe they can't, maybe home is like too far away, or, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that happens. That's wild, man. Wow. Well, thankfully y'all are safe. So, last thing real quick before we get into the end of the show is, there's two things, man. It's Black History Month, so our history should be celebrated all the time. But, we obviously have this 1 month that is sort of dedicated really to Black History Month. So, get out there and learn something about Black history, something that you either have heard of or something that you may not know, something that's new. That's always something good to try to stretch your knowledge. I'm trying to say. And tell us what you learned about Black History Month or Black history. I want to know. The other thing is, speaking of Black history, a Black coach in the NFL, Brian Flores, he was formerly of the Miami Dolphins. He, I guess, had been with them. Let's see how long. Let's see when he coached the Dolphins. Let me pull up this info. Let's see here. He coached the Miami Dolphins 2019 to 2022, right? But before that, he had been in the NFL, for several years as a player, and then also assistant coach to Bill Belichick. He well respected. Originally from Brooklyn, New York, and man is just 40 years old, right? Originally from Brooklyn, New York, but yeah, he played in NFL, and then he coached for a long time. And was a high, what do you call it? Like, was a high, a name at the top of a lot of people's lists when he got the Miami job. And then, Miami just fired him at the end of this season, even though he brought them to the brink of the playoffs. I think they were like, one win out of getting into the playoffs. So, they were right there. So then right now he was going on all these coaching interviews, which my Giants were one of the places that, he interviewed. And is odd because he touched down for his interview, like, I don't know, I can't remember the day that they said he did, but he touched down and he got a message from Coach Bill Belichick in the text saying, "Hey, it looks like you landed. Congratulations, on the job." And he was like, "Coach, what do you mean? Are you texting the right Brian?" Because the Giants had also interviewed another Brian Daboll, who is a white guy, and Brian Daboll and Flores used to be assistants under Belichick, so he knows who the other guy is. So Bill Belichick replied and was like, "Oh no, I effed up." And this was okay. So Brian Flores landed to go to his New York Giants interview. He got that text message exchange with Bill Belichick, and who is the coach of the Patriots right now. And basically, he found out in that text message exchange that this other person had already gotten the job.
Oh, that sucks, man.
So he was walking into an interview having known
he didn't
that his job had already, that he didn't get the job, at all, because they had already made the decision. But the NFL instated this thing called the Rooney Rule, which I believe was 20 years ago, which was set up by the Pittsburgh Steelers owners, to give more of an opportunity for African Americans to be coaches and GMs, which are the two highest positions on a football team outside of being the owner, right? So the NFL instated that rule, and so every time there's like coaching hiring, every team has to at least, I think they have to at least interview at least 2 people of color. I think that's the minimum, right? Some people do more, some people do less. But since that rule is being instated, they want to get more diversity into the league in those positions, because those are like the top positions. Because up to that point it had been run mainly by white people, right? Those powerful spots. But the crazy thing is, I can't remember what the percentage is, but it's like, 80% of the league or something like that is black,
Mhm.
So so it's just really, or person of color, I guess. So it's just really weird that there's not a lot of black African American coaches. And the other
Right.
thing is, so on top of that happened. And then so he decided to sue the NFL. Brian Flores decided to sue the NFL for discrimination, but because that Rooney Rule is not working. He was also because he was, also because he was fired. What did it say? He was fired for basically for no good reason, right? Because he was doing a good job, but they say that they fired him because he was losing, but also they said that they fired him because there was a communication gap, or as you would perceive what has come to be known as the angry black man mentality. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
He did not want to communicate. He did not want to. He did not want to. I guess, like they said, that he hired and fired multiple. What do you call it? He hired and fired multiple offensive coordinators, saying that that there was some kind of communication gap, all this stuff, and that he was tough to deal with, right? So that's the narrative that comes out about black coaches. They're tough to deal with. They don't communicate well with management. They can't consistently win. Things like that. And a lot of times when they get these jobs, they're put in bad situations where they have bad teams, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it hard. But this guy turned this team around. Apparently, he turned the culture around. Players were fighting to play for him, like they love to play for him. Deshaun Watson, who has his own legal trouble, basically wanted to play for him at Miami, but with the legal issues pending, it really made it obviously almost impossible for him to get that opportunity. But there's people who want to play for this guy. All in all, a good coach. So he basically sued the NFL for defamation to a point, but it's mainly, I think, with the Dolphins and the narrative that had come out about him. And then on top of that, come to find out, he has proof that the Dolphins ownership were trying to make him lose games. They're trying to pay him to lose games so they can get a higher draft position. So maybe they could draft a different quarterback or something like that, which he, denied and he didn't want to do. And he was like, I owe it to my players, I owe it to my coaching staff, and I owe it to everybody who works on the team, for the Dolphins to win, because as losing happens, people get fired, and people lose their jobs and their livelihood. So he's like, I owe it to those players, and everybody here and the fans, honestly, to win. And he went out and he coached and they won games, and then he was fired after that. So, wrongful termination. So, man, there's a lot to that, man. And of course, the Dolphins came out and they were like, oh no, that didn't happen. And then, of course, along with that, he sued the NFL, the Giants, the Dolphins, and the Broncos.
Damn.
So the Giants, because of that hiring situation that he found out in a text. The Dolphins, because the reason I just mentioned. The NFL as a whole, because of the rule and that whole situation. And then, basically, what is the word? I can't remember, when they collaborate on something. And then collusion. And then also the Broncos, because, he's had unfair interviews, because back when he, in 2019 or whatever, when he, was trying to, got the job with the Dolphins, he had actually also interviewed at the Broncos. And John Elway, former NFL great and ownership there. John Elway is like their GM or whatever. They showed up to the interview drunk, hungover, drunk, and not really engaged. And so he was like, I didn't even have a chance in that interview because they weren't really there, engaged, had to have a serious conversation and interview in which the Broncos hired a white dude, which oddly enough was also fired this offseason.
Well,
because he was a bad coach.
yeah.
So this is the
They
thing,
say,
man.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'll go. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask what is he like suing for? Like, what is he trying to
He's
get out
suing.
of?
I think he's suing for and let me see. I can't remember how much. Let's see. Here we go. Systematic racism. So let me see. It's a class action lawsuit. Let's see here. Class action. Let me see if there's a money. Yeah, see, he was offered $100,000 bonuses for each game they lost in 2019, so they get a higher draft pick. And obviously, this is sort of career suicide. And what's so crazy is like out of all this time, going back to when this rule was instated, there's only one black coach that's still, with the team longer than their initial contract, which is Mike Tomlin of the Steelers. Right now, still there, and he's a really good coach too. Which Steelers were also the family that started the rule that helped to get that rule passed. But let me see here. Sham interview. Let's see here. Let me see. I can't remember. I'm gonna try to find out what he was suing for. Let's see. Here we go. Here's what's the lawsuit state that he is seeking increased influence of black individuals in hiring, which basically means coaches and GMs who are in those hiring positions, increase objectivity of hiring and terminating GMs, head coaches, and coordinators, because those are basically the top three positions on a team. Increased number of black coordinators, because the coordinator position, offensive, defensive, special teams, those are the ones that normally get that opportunity to coach,
Right.
unless they're previous coaches, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Incentivize hiring, retention of black GMs. So, head coaches and coordinators, transparency of pay for GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. So how much they get paid, because, as we already know with women in the workplace and also people of color in the workplace, historically, they have been paid less than people who are not,
Right. Correct. Wow.
So, yeah, man, I mean, this is almost career suicide, right? You're a young and upcoming coach. You're 40 years old, almost what Kaepernick did, man. He is doing this more for the cause and for, everyone to follow him, rather than, I know he's doing it for himself, obviously, to a point, but really it's all about, all the kids who are, currently playing, or, young people who are currently working for teams, stuff like that to come. Yeah. So
now, do you think if this does go through, if he does win, and then all those things you just listed were, I guess, kind of set in stone, do you think that the NFL would uphold these particular things, or would they still be a little shady and try to get their, get the people that they actually want in their positions?
Well, this is the thing, man. I think that this is the thing. I think that the NFL would still have this stuff in place if this didn't happen, because it is, man, because they just deny it, and nothing ever happens, right? And then the commissioner, they initially denied it, but then a couple of days ago, the commissioner did put out a memo and said, we do have a lot of work to do in this department specifically. So it looks like they're trying to acknowledge it without saying that they did something wrong, right? If he'd have been, this is the thing, if he would have made the playoffs this year, he probably wouldn't have got fired. I think that he was just waiting for them to fire him. And also, I think, to see what would happen with these first couple job interviews, to see if he was going to get one of those jobs, maybe before he dropped this. But I can't remember. I think they did ask him that when he came on to this this Greeny show on ESPN about if he would have done that regardless. And I think he said yeah, he would have come out and spoken against it probably once he got another job, because in that case he would have had, some security or whatever. And he would have spoken about the Dolphins. But man, it's a big thing. And this is the thing. So like once this happens, either coaches or players have to come out in support of him. And so Hugh Jackson, who was a former coach of the Raiders, as well as the Browns, came out and said, yeah, he was basically paid to lose games when he coached the Browns. They had a terrible record, but then he was fired mid-season because he wasn't winning. But the owners, would pay him, and he has some kind of documentation as well, stating that they were doing that, but they didn't call it, pay for loses. They just gave them bonuses, and they were terrible. But he's like, why are all these $80,000, $50,000 bonuses hitting my account, and we're bad? You know what I'm trying to say? And he never got a clear explanation about it. But some people are like, it's sort of clear if you're losing a lot and the team is still paying you, that you're getting paid for losing. But I don't know if that's always clear. I don't know. I'm not in those circles, so I don't completely understand that. But I just gotta say, man, we already know that there's a long-standing, history of not a lot of black coaches getting those opportunities.
Yeah.
Even with the Texans coach this year was a black dude. It's his first time getting a job, and I think the dude was 70 years old, something crazy, 60-something years old, something crazy like that. This is his first chance of getting a job. David Culley is his name. And the Texans, I think they won 4 games this year. And, they have to do a whole culture shift. But they fired him, too, after 1 season because he lost. But they didn't give him a chance.
So now I'm wondering, out of all the NFL teams, I wonder what's the percentage of African-American people who are applying to these jobs and are getting denied. Because, of course, we could see every Sunday, whenever a game played, we could see the people on the sideline, maybe coordinators or trainers or whoever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how many people are actually applying to these jobs and not getting them.
Oh.
And they're not being talked about, on any type of platform. That's what
There's
I'm
a
wondering.
lot.
What percentage? Yeah.
There's a lot. I think this is it. Every team has their own, website, Instagram page, all this stuff. I followed the Giants hiring cycle, when they were looking for their general manager, when they were looking for their coach. And every time somebody was interviewed, they would post a story and a post about it. And they would say, link, to the details about this interview in our hire. And so it would show the person, it'd show what they were interviewing for. And then, if you clicked on the link, it would take you to their website, which showed you details about whomever that was getting interviewed. So everybody is getting, every team is doing that. Every team is showing, who they're interviewing. Right.
Interesting. I didn't even know that.
And information about them. So that's all out there, and it's all public record too. I believe you could just go to the NFL's website or something like that, and say, who are the Bears, looking to hire as a coach and GM, because that was their off season. The Bears, the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Giants, the Texans. Who else? Who else had to replace coach? So the Bears. Actually, the Giants interviewed this guy who was a former player personnel director for the or assistant, something like that, for the San Francisco 49ers, who's a black guy, right?
Yeah.
So they ended up hiring him as their GM.
Right.
And then they hired a white guy as a coach, but that top position, the hiring and firing guy, is a black dude now. And now they're saying, well, will the Texans hire Brian Flores as their coach? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know for the Giants, they interviewed. I think they interviewed for general manager. I think they interviewed 3 or 4 black people. One was that guy that the Bears hired. 2 guys actually work for the Arizona Cardinals, I believe. And I can't remember who the 4th guy was. Maybe it was 3 guys. But then for their coaching search, they interviewed Leslie Frazier, who used to be the coach of the Vikings, who's a black guy. They interviewed this white guy, Brian Daboll, who eventually got the job. They interviewed Patrick Graham, who was the defensive coordinator for the Giants for several years and actually did a really good job. And then they interviewed Brian Flores. So I think there's just 3 black candidates they interviewed. And I think the minimum is 2. I think that's the box. And they just say what the claim is, you know, teams are checking the box that they interviewed
checking the box,
a candidate of color.
Yeah.
You know, and then they go on. So women have gotten jobs in front offices and coaches and stuff like that as like coordinators and or whatever, assistant coaches. They've gotten jobs, you know, but and, which is great as well, you know, because there's equality there. But these black guys, you know, who are interviewing for the top role on the team, are not. Troubling, man.
You know, it got me thinking. Do you think they would post online or even give the chance to somebody who's like let's just say like you, for instance, let's say Jared Hooker, the grand champion of Madden NFL from 2010 to 2020, knows all the plays like the back of his hand. Mm-hmm. Do you think they'd give you a chance? Because essentially those...
As a coach?
Madden, as a head coach, because essentially those Madden players, they know all those plays in that computer to be able to be champions, because there is Madden tournaments all over the place. Mm-hmm. And people are extremely skilled with knowing stats of that team as well as all other teams. Do you think the knowledge of a video game player versus the knowledge of an actual person in the seat that has an actual physical background in football, do you think they do just as well of a job as let's just say a losing coach in a season?
To do just as well as a losing coach in a season?
Yeah, well, maybe even do better than a losing coach.
I would say no. This is why, man. This is why. Even though you're like an amazing Madden player, all those plays on Madden, you know, you could actually, the good thing is you could actually create your own plays now, right?
Right.
Been able to do that for a long time. But all those plays on Madden are like set to specific computer programming, you know, like if this happens, then that's going to happen. And a lot of times, you know, and also on top of that, also it's, you know, like there are really a lot of basic plays, and there are even basic plays that pertain to specific teams. So I would think, I don't think so. Just because in Madden, you're picking a play and you're normally going to have a quarterback throw to a specific wide receiver or run with a specific back. There's so much more to coaching a team than calling a play, you know? Okay. And I think that's where they would fail. I think they'd be okay calling some plays, but the predictability, you know, if they ran an NFL team like they run their Madden game, the predictability would be there and they probably wouldn't win a game at all.
Yeah.
Compared to a losing coach.
Yeah.
I would pick a losing coach.
I would love to see that experiment, because there was an experiment done with what video game was it? It was a driving game, and I think they even created a TV show out of it, GT Academy, where they took video game players and put them in a real driving situation, or real driving, I guess, academy or something. I can't remember what year it was, but I think it was on
2012.
2012. Seasons. So they did that, and they put these video game players in this particular situation, and a lot of them performed really, really well under these new conditions. So I'm wondering if an actual video game player for like football or any type of sports where you have to have some kind of great knowledge, especially if you're doing tournaments all the time, high dollar tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So these guys actually got to drive, right? They actually got to get in.
Yeah, they had to train and do all the stuff.
That's interesting. See, that's the thing, though. This is the difference, though. I think with driving, I mean, shoot, dog. Growing up, I wanted to be a rally car driver. Like that's what I really wanted to do. You know, I think. I guess it depends. There's some things where I think that it would work out better, like this, like driving. You know, there's some of those guys who probably could go from online virtual driving gamer racer to real life, even though the scene around you, being in your basement or your front of your TV, whatever, is different compared to being in real life driving on the roads. I think that driving is one of those things that everybody could do to a certain point. So I think they would have a little bit of success. I don't know how much they would win, but they'd have success. But being a coach of a whole NFL organization, I think that would be a little different. But man, I want to check this out. What is this streaming on? Let's see.
Don't say it. Hey, oh, sorry. Little boy, you ain't got to repeat that. Here. Okay.
Episodes. Let me see. Where does this show is streaming on? Is this on Netflix? What is it on? Let me look. Why is it not telling me anything? Let me see.
Yeah, I think it used to stream on, I think it was Spike TV back in the day.
Okay.
But here. I don't know if it's still running on that. Was it Spike TV? Yeah, it might have been Spike TV, I think.
To watch and stream GT, whatever. Here we go. TV Guide. TV Guide is always the jam. TV Guide tells you everything. Currently not available to stream. Oh, you know what? They probably have some episodes on YouTube, so I could probably just find it on YouTube. At least clips from it or something like that. That'd be interesting, man. I'd be really interested to see, because that would be like
it was Spike TV show. Yeah, that's what it was. Spike TV.
Oh, I love Spike TV. That was a good channel. Yeah, man. I don't know, but that would be an interesting experiment to see how an NFL coach would do. Player to coach, a gamer to coach, really in any league. The only thing I could equate that to for me is playing video games and then coaching my kids' flag football team.
Two completely different things, right?
Yeah, and this is the thing, being the only one as the coach, and having one assistant or no assistants, it's there's a lot of stuff you got to think of, offense to defense, all that stuff. Yeah. So if they had some guy doing that, basically being like the CEO play caller, but called offensive, defensive, and sort of ran the team, that'd be interesting. There's a coach right now who runs his team like a Madden player would. The San Diego Chargers, their coach, I can't remember what his name is, but a whole lot of times he went for it on fourth down instead of punting. That's what people do on Madden. They'll go instead of punt. And sometimes he did well. Sometimes he didn't. He gave the ball back to the other team on his own 20-yard line and ended up going down. And they missed the playoffs by one game. Honestly, the last game of the year, if the Chargers would have tied the Raiders on the last game of the year, if it ended in a tie, then they would have both made the playoffs. Otherwise, it was whoever won got in. And the Chargers ended up losing in overtime. So there was an opportunity, because it went down to like the final second in overtime, and the Raiders ended up kicking a field goal and winning. So there was a chance for that to happen. So all that being said, that guy ran his team like a
video game. Yeah.
So you never know, man. You never know.
That's interesting.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing. Maybe not a full on NFL franchise, but maybe a college team, maybe a junior college team. Something that you can see. Some real
right
where they get hired and get paid. Exactly. Yeah. You show up like I was a Tecmo Bowl champ on Super NES,
1985 to 1989.
Exactly.
Got
then
all the accolades.
Then I was the NCAA football champion. From 1998 all the way to 2004, and then since then, I've been to several Madden Bowls and won, 2. So that'd be interesting. Wow. Anyway, all right, well, man, that's an action-packed, thick show. What's up, kiddo? How you doing?
What do you need?
Body.
What do you need?
Do you know what the scene is?
Why? Cause what? Because what?
Logan, he just asked if he can get an invite, and then I'm pretty sure he's getting his own ticket.
Who's gonna bring him?
I think his mom.
Yeah, you need to talk to mom about that. You need close my door.
All right,
Man, boy, I
like you need to
swear.
figure out the logistics of going to see
People,
Spider-Man.
all it was supposed to be was just us four, but then, sometimes their friends want to invite themselves
Okay.
to come, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dog, it's just supposed to be us four. I ain't trying to bring every single person that
Let their mama bring them if they want to show up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like it,
yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. Was that Chocolate Body or was that the older one?
That was little chocolate body.
Oh yeah, all right, that's funny.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, action-packed show, thick with excitement. Build-A-Bear toys. Killing over Mayo. Scandals, snowmobiling, and also, Foot Locker, Skeet.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, Jay, why don't you tell the people where they can find us? So
All right, people. Yeah. As I close my show notes, Twitter, Instagram, #Blackout Pod. Find us on all your podcast streaming platforms, almost all of them. You can find us there. Just do a little searchy search. Get us there. Join us on Sunday mornings. You could be in the chat as Miss Kayla did today. Or you could maybe we could bring you into a video. Who knows? I don't know.
I think we could do that.
We could probably do that. Yeah. Because we have been slacking on reaching out to guests to be part of the show. We'll have to start doing that soon, this 2022. And if you do want to be a part of the show, #blackoutpod@gmail.com. You can email us there or give us a little voicemail to tell us you want to be a part of it. Or if you just want to leave us a random comment, question, concern, story, whatever, call 3853-BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. That's where you can call and talk very close to the mic. Get some ASMR sound effects. Crunch on some.
You got to rub the mic. You got to rub it with your fingers.
Crunch on some potato chips and do all kinds of things. Man, this mic smells pretty good. I hadn't smelled this mic since I got this thing. Still smells very fresh and plasticky. That. And if you want to smell something very fresh, hit up hooksrub.com. Get yourself some fresh seasonings to put all over your fresh meat. Maybe even if you got a shoe fetish or any kind of other fetish, you could sprinkle it on there. And toenails to send out to the
fresh catch,
the ladies of those prison systems. Send them something. Sprinkle it on some dirty underwear if they into that. You could send out to them so they could have a little something to remember you by and remember the Hooks Rub seasoning by.
Oh my gosh.
And then maybe they could start ordering some Hooks Rubs to put on their ramen that they eat in jail.
Yep. They can do all that.
All
that fun stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Yeah, and if you do sprinkle Hooks Rub on one of your things that you fetish over,
don't tell us.
I mean, you could tag us, because it's always good to support. You can share our stories and stuff. You can share your stories about it. We'll see if it gets reposted.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, on that note, man, I hope y'all have a good week. Hope you and your kids and family, whoever shows up to Spider-Man, enjoys the show.
Boy. Yeah.
And I personally am blacking out. Peace.
I'm blacking out too. Yes, I'm blacking out too. Later, people. Blacking out. Hey, Chihuahua.
That is wild. I can't like the stories of the shoe fetishes. It's just so wild. And we're out on